Omar can
My.
give me the O.
Ooh.
Oh, that's it out loud.
Was that the O or the D? Okay. So, we
But the
grown now.
O comes because of the D.
Uh, oh.
Hey,
Hello,
everybody.
How y'all doing?
What up, though? Thank you
What
for
up?
tuning into Clink.
I have to give me a little sippy sip.
Get your sip, girl.
Mm.
This is Clink, the recap, where we recap shows. We put you on shows that you may not have thought about watching, and we recap those shows and we bring it to you because we have some good takes on shows, right? I think we do.
We do because we know what to look for.
We do.
We know exactly what to look for. And before we go any further, I just want to let you know
Go ahead.
that I'm Cam.
And I'm Kay. Hey.
Hey.
We are your hosts. We are sister girlfriends and we are podcasters and we are filmmakers and we are all the things.
All things creative.
All right.
That's why you're here with us.
Yes. And thank you.
Thank
And welcome to our new subscribers. We are at 104, girl.
Woo! 104. Come on, y'all.
104. We little halfway there, a little over halfway there. Okay.
Tell your friends because we're doing this campaign, and after we get to 200, 200, we are going to pass out some exciting gifts, things that you are really gonna like.
Yes, you are. Nice little giveaway.
Yes.
All right. So we are season 3. Episodes 3 and 4 of the show Johnson.
Yep.
It streams on. It's a Bounce original.
Yes.
But it streams on. I'm about to say
Netflix.
Girl.
Amazon Prime.
It streams on Prime and it streams on the Brown Sugar app. You pay for that one, and it also streams on Hulu.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. So, but again, it's a Bounce original, and season 4 is going to premiere on August 3rd, I believe, on Bounce.
And we can't wait.
We cannot wait, y'all. Girl.
We like you, Omar and Greg, and all of y'all Johnson brothers. Yes.
Omar, though. Omar. Omar can give me the O.
Ooh.
Oh, that's it out loud.
Was that the O or the D? Okay. So, we grown now.
O comes because of the D.
Oh. Okay, but back to the recap of 3 and 4. Okay, it opens up with Jervis working out on his row machine in his backyard.
I do want to say, I do want a row machine because that's a good full body workout.
It is.
With the water in it.
Full body.
Yeah, I want one. Okay.
Other than the, okay. Yeah. And Stephen leaves him a message that says that he's going out of town. And Jervis laughs nervously and leaves him this message like, okay, dog, but he really is not happy.
He's not because Steven Jackson, they used to play for the Indiana Pacers, but he got beat down at the Malice at the Palace by my boy Ben Wallace, baby.
In the D.
Don't mess with us. Don't mess with us.
What up, though?
I saw that in real time. Okay, I was like, oh. Yes, that was my Piston team right there. Yes.
I know, but don't be getting mad because you did get beat down. It's okay. We all have a pass.
It's all good. Okay. So after seeing that text, Jarvis calls Steven and he leaves him a message reminding him that he said, hey, I thought you said this was your only day in town.
Right.
So he was like, what's going on? So Greg pulls up to, I have in my notes before I knew his name. I said he pulls up to Kyle's restaurant. Kyle from Living Single. What's his name?
Mr. Williams.
It is Mr. Williams. T.C. Carson. Yeah. And he said, I like me some Kyle.
Yeah, but he gonna come to the restaurant 25 minutes late after he done told him, meet me here at 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock.
And we know Greg be Gregging.
Greg be Gregging.
So what did he do, girl?
So when he came in, giving his excuses, he this traffic and all that kind of stuff.
I had to stop to play my number because it's like 500 million. Right. I'm like, wow.
So he's trying to sweet talk his way into letting the chef give him another chance because Chef Williams was like, bruh, you late. So what? Bye. I hope
The
you
window
can.
is closed, so I hope that you learn your lesson because, like, you know, the chef wasn't buying none of what Greg was saying
Hmm.
at all, and the chef was explaining to him this business is about discipline
Discipline.
and punctuality.
Yes.
And if you say you're gonna be somewhere, you need to be there because we know that if you cooking something, you can't be burning up the food.
That part, and I like that because he was like, when you are baking something or cooking something, you can't just step away. So we as cooks know this, and we're not
Yeah,
chefs. We know you gotta kind of like babysit and be
you
in the
gotta watch your
vicinity
food.
of the food that you're cooking. So,
Yeah. And so the chef ain't having it, and the chef tells him that he can walk. He has two choices. He can either go in the back and get that big old pile of dishes in the sink,
mhm.
or either walk to Brooklyn and get him a slice of pizza.
He was like, he said, yeah, cheesecake, right?
Yeah,
Cheesecake.
cheesecake.
And then Greg said, we're in Georgia, right?
And he looked at him and said,
Right, you see the little shimmy that he did. I'm like, he still got that cow walk.
"We
He
love
still got that
him,
cow
love
walk.
you." Even though you Williams, you still always will be Kyle. That's
Still be
hi
Kyle,
Kyle,
right?
right? So Keith is
Hmm.
at the gym flexing after every that
My
little that
God,
little that little
Keith.
muscle, but we happy though because
Oh, Keith.
he's so excited he got a little muscle going
Right, he
on.
was struggling, girl. So Omar was spotting him because Keith was doing bench presses, and he
Mhm.
was struggling. He was like, two, only two. I was like,
Boy, lighter weights, more reps. That'll make it grow every time. So
what?
Jarvis
Right.
is on his phone. He's checking on his
Hmm.
business, and he's very intense. And Omar is like, telling him, "Oh man, you really on that phone?" And he was like, "I'm about my business,
Hmm.
okay." And he was like, "And what about?" Then they got on the conversation about Jarvis and his business and what he's doing right now.
Hmm.
And so Omar started telling him that he's rebranding himself.
Yep. He's pivoting. And that's what we have to do in life a lot of times, when things doesn't go your way, but you still have that passion because we know that from a couple of episodes ago that they lost their investors because of his background with the battery charges.
Yeah.
So when they were at the mixer, the networking mixer, Omar was talking to someone who owned a magazine, and he wanted
Hmm.
Omar to create an app.
He was like, what's up? And he was like, and it's money in
Hmm.
apps because I can
Hmm.
point you to people here that got that
Hmm.
moolah that would love for you to develop apps
Yeah,
for them in their
yeah.
businesses.
So that's what he's gonna do
So
now.
remember to go to those networking events because you never know who you're gonna meet
Girl, but
and
I
who they gonna
can't.
hook
As an
you
introvert,
up.
as a my fellow introverts, y'all know
She will learn. Look, she will learn. No, I'm just playing.
networking because we
I
don't like
network.
small talk. It's like anxiety. It's like I network differently, not like in a big room where everybody that talks to people. That's not how I network. I network best like on a one-on-one,
Yeah.
like when I'm just out and not somebody
Just
just in conversation. So
so her networking has to be done organically. But
yeah.
back to the show real quick.
Yes.
But we gonna do a show on that. We really are. We really are. So he says that Steven told him that he was out of town, but then he saw a post that he was having breakfast on
On
Peachtree.
Peachtree.
He was
Right.
pissed.
I'm like, how you gonna tell you? He on social media.
Right.
Like he not gonna see your post.
And then Omar is like, can you introduce me to Steven? He would be a great person for me to try to network with
Hmm.
to develop an app with. And then you got Keith, he like, it sounds like it's game to me. I
Yeah.
like Keith. Keith be peeping
But I
everything.
like when Omar said that he was like, "Can you hook me up?" Jarvis like, "Hell, I can't even hook myself up with him."
Right, because he keep ducking and dodging.
Right.
Yeah, so they asked him, so Keith was like, it sounds like it's game to him. He says,
Hmm.
"Be well, what did you do?" And he was like, I told him I sent him all the information last night. So Keith was like, that sounds kind of flaky to me. So he says, I did send him the details on the property. So Jarvis like, you know what? I'm about to go over there right now.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
okay, gangsta boo.
He rolled up on him because I think one of the guys was like, "You should roll up on him." Like, yeah, I'm gonna roll up on him. So
Right,
yeah, he did that. He rolled up on him. So next we see. Mm,
girl, the glistening, and
Next we
boy was he
see he
glistening.
was glistening. Ooh, the way that towel was draped over his legs,
They was
his
wrong
nice
for that.
legs.
They was wrong for
So,
that.
y'all want to know what we're talking about? So the next scene,
He
we
needed some gray sweatpants on, but we're gonna leave that alone.
well, he
Did
was
I just say
fine
that?
just the way he was, honey.
Mm.
The illusion of him being naked in that sauna, him and Keith. So Omar was in the sauna with Keith,
And I'm getting my popcorn as I'm thinking about it.
and they are, they're in there.
They're
And I
cooking
love
it.
a good sauna.
I do
So
too.
they're in there, they're just talking, and Keith just mentions like, "Hey, we got to do our self care."
Mhm.
And so Omar like, pretty much like, "Isn't this what we're doing?"
But he was talking about facials and pedicures and all this stuff. And
Omar
Omar's
like,
like,
"No,
dude,
no,
I'm not doing
no."
none of that.
He was like, "Okay, I have another suggestion. How about yoga? Because y'all know in the beginning, he was on the yoga class, right? Okay, let's keep that in mind."
Mhm.
So he agreed to that. So he's like,
Yeah.
"Okay, yeah, I can do yoga."
And then you got Keith in there complaining, talking about, I feel like I'm breathing through a towel. How much longer do we have to stay in here? Because saunas can get really, really hot. That's why you need to stay hydrated.
You
Get
do.
some water.
You do. Oh, so girl, what did Jarvis do?
So Jarvis rolls up to the property with Stephen and Antoinette. And while he's in the car, they are like playing like he like rolling up, like he rolling up. I was like, you better roll up.
Get me rolling.
Get me rolling. Right. So he rolls up and he says, she says, oh, well, he's about to make an offer. And he's looking at her like, what are you doing?
On the property that I took my time out to find.
Right. That I've been searching for, that I forwarded him yesterday. And she's just sitting there all smug, like, well, you've been going through the divorce and
bringing up his personal stuff.
And you're going through the divorce and you're a little bit distracted. And Jarvis is like, hold on, that don't have nothing. I told you that in confidence, and you're using it against me. He said, hey, that's typical Antoinette.
But
so she must have been doing that for a while.
Her hair was herring, though.
Her hair was herring, and her makeup was makeup in it too.
But her sneaky, snaky self.
Yes, but I love how he walked off like he walked off like a pimp with a limp. When he walked away, he was like, oh, okay, like, okay. So Steven is like, he don't know what's going on, but y'all need to handle that. And so basically, I like how Jervis bowed out gracefully, like, you can have that. You go right ahead. Yeah. He said, but I was the one to put it together.
Yeah.
So he did let that be known. So I think Steven should have
he should have
some coin.
But Steven was like, look, I just wanted my property.
I just want the house.
And I feel that because I had two realtors at the same time because one wasn't doing it. But anyway, but he was, and she just stole it from him.
Her little spanking behind.
And he was like, "Oh, Antoinette," he was like, "You should have splurged on a good champagne, not the $20 champagne from the grocery store."
Not the grocery store.
He said, "I know how you like to save money." I'm like, "Oh."
So basically, that's a little hint on like your business ain't doing too well, but you go right ahead. So Greg finishes washing the dishes.
Yeah.
And he says, okay, I feel like this is work abuse. I thought that was funny. I feel like this is work abuse. So then Greg, like, he's all excited in the moment. And he's like, okay, let me get my chef on.
And Chef was like, hold up. He was like, I saw you,
hold up.
Because, Greg just seemed to think that, he was mentioning like his Tesla that he saw Chef Williams roll up in at the mixer. So Chef Williams had to break it down. He was kind of offended. He was like, I had to bust my ass to get to where I just now got this spot, my own spot.
Right.
He said he worked at the Cheesecake Factory. He got kitchen experience, and he went to culinary school for 4 years. And then he, worked in other kitchens. And then he, like I said, he just got that spot. So he was like, you can't just come in here expecting this to be a chef.
He wanted to explain to him, you have to understand the struggle. Yes. And you have to understand the process, because you can't just come in here and think I'm just going to hand you everything, because then nobody give me nothing. So of course Greg apologizes. Yeah. Then he comments, well, the TikTok chefs, they teach you in like 5 minutes. You just follow the recipe.
He said, what did he say?
In under a minute.
Anybody can follow a recipe, but not anybody can create one.
And he said, but not anybody can create one.
Right.
I said, ooh! You better get
I was like, bars, because he right though.
He is.
I follow a recipe, but to create something,
a recipe.
I don't know. I'm a creative.
You probably could, girl. You probably could.
Still,
little season. Make sure you got your season. As long as you got your seasons, girl, you can make the world turn.
I love my herbs and spices.
So Keith and Jackie pull up to Jackie's parents' house. And it is a mansion. It is absolutely
All I can say
gorgeous.
was like, okay, production value.
Right.
The house spots is just wonderful because it was an estate. It was
It was a
nice.
to do.
Yeah, because he was like, I didn't. You said you didn't tell me your parents, your father was Barack Obama.
He's really in so as we go on in here, we find out that her father is the councilman that
Councilman Garrett.
Councilman Garrett that Keith challenged at the mixer.
Mm-hmm.
So honey, Keith is so embarrassed and the councilman is not happy. But the mother, the wife, she was very sweet
She was
and welcoming. So we see where Jackie gets her personality from.
Yes.
So then the councilman's making all kinds of little snitty remarks.
Yeah, he's
trying to make him feel uncomfortable.
He did, and I put the councilman is throwing shade at Keith because he didn't like how he went at him at the mixer.
Mm-hmm.
And then Keith said, "I was just trying to voice my opinion for the people." He said, "Don't shoot the messenger." And so he was like, "Well, can I at least strangle him or stab him?" I was like, "You know what, Mac?" He played Mac in Greenleaf. I always see Mac.
Always see Mac.
Always.
And so Keith's like a little worried, and Jackie tells him, "Don't worry, everything's gonna be all right." Mm-hmm. So Omar, it flashes to Omar and Unc at the cigar bar, and Omar comes in and everything, and he's chilling, and everybody is just a cool festive episode.
I said he looked like a sexy leprechaun. He on a green. He had on an all green suit
without a tie. It was
without
a t-shirt,
tie, like a turtleneck too.
Yeah, a little tight tee, thingy. Whoo. And so Omar tells him that he's making money in his sleep. He's telling Unc, you're making money in your sleep, and that's what I really wanted to do with my app, and it didn't. And Unc tells him, he tried many different businesses and different things that he did, and now this came to fruition. So he's just basically telling him, keep hope alive and keep your head up.
Just encouraging him.
Yeah.
So while they're talking, Omar sees, he was like, "Is that Naomi?" And she's with a guy, y'all.
Honey, she walked in with a whole date. And he wasn't just a date, he was a snack of his own.
Oh, he was a snack. A lot of men on this show was fine.
I was like, Omar was heated.
Oh, of course, Omar was heated, yeah. He was about to go over there, but Eugene had to hold him back. He was like, "No,
we're not doing that.
We're not doing that tonight."
He said, "So go out the back door."
Yeah, he said, "Take the rest of the night off." And he was about to go out to the front so he can, he's like, go out the back.
Go get you a massage, have a drink, go relax, just whatever you try to do, it ain't gonna be done here. So he says, so then it goes back to Keith at the dinner table with Jackie and her parents. Yeah. And the councilman says that they talk about his profession, and the councilman says, well, nowadays anybody can take pictures.
Right. And Jackie was standing up for her man. She was like,
stand by your man.
She was telling him that, he's a professional photographer, like CNN, and, he works for that part. But she said he's a professional, magazines. And so we find out that Keith actually has a degree. He went to Morehouse, y'all, for communication.
He does. So that's why he can speak effectively. I said, go on, Keith. So Jackie says, it was cool. But she was standing by her man. So Jackie says the dad is asking her about her life, what she's going through, and all this, that, and third. And she says she's picking up more hours at the bar. And, she's handling things and she's chilling. And so her father says, I hate that you work there with all those weirdos. And that's not the place that you should be working because it's not safe. And Jackie's mother said,
so where did y'all meet?
And they look at each other like,
at the
her job. And the father could have become undone and Keith could have just slithered under the table. So Jackie's mother suggests that Keith develop a box of photos a box of negatives that they have in the garage, and she said that it's been back there for decades. And so of course the father is not for that. He's like, it hasn't been back there that long. I don't need him to do anything for me.
But he agreed to develop them in his loft because he has a dark room in his loft. So he agrees to do that, of course, to get them brownie points.
Yeah, but he also said, I need to get paid because, you want me to keep taking your daughter on nice dates and taking her to nice
Right,
places. I say,
right.
you better get your coin.
Right, exactly.
So that goes back to the thing. Don't ask people. If people offer to do you a favor, cool. But if not, pay them.
Yeah,
We got to pay people.
we do. So episode 4, we see I said I have in my notes. I said episode 4. We are blessed to see Omar waking up in the morning in his bed. The phone rings and it's Bianca. She want to meet him.
Well, her stinking ass.
Oh,
I'm sorry. That wasn't nice. Bianca calls Omar and tells him that she needs to meet with him and that he can bring the same amount of money like he did the last time.
mm-hmm.
And Omar's asked her, when are you going to get a paternity test? I need to know what's going on. So
I'm going to give you all this money.
Right. So Omar's feeling down about Naomi.
Yeah, he is. And so the next thing we see, the guys hooping, and Greg and Omar, they're on teams, right?
Mm-hmm.
No, not Greg. Omar and Keith. And Greg and Jarvis on teams, and Keith and Omar wins. Excuse me.
I was like, all right, Keith, you better get your hoop on.
And where am I? So Jarvis says that he feel like he doesn't know. Wait a minute. I think okay, here we are. The hooping. So Omar is saying that he is under stress, and he is hoping that him exercising and hooping will take his mind off of stuff. And so Jarvis, girl, he was like, "Don't let nobody stress you out." He's because he's going his thing with his wife. I'm like, calm down.
I'm like, calm down, Jay. You have been like the voice of reason the whole time. Don't start tripping. Now I told you he becoming a gangster boo. He coming to himself. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So they I'll encourage Omar. Tell him, brother, keep your head up. Don't let nobody pull you down.
And then Keith said, don't let her break your soul.
And they like, we know what's on your playlist. You won't break my soul. You can't break my soul. So then we pivot to Jarvis saying that he is going to go and confront his parents
because he had the proof. He had the DNA test and his real birth certificate. So he was going to go over there and confront his parents.
And then of course we have Greg asking Jarvis, could he come home really, really late or not at all? And Jarvis is looking at him like, what?
Right.
That's my crib.
Right.
He's telling him because he's having company. And Jarvis is like, you eat my food, you drive my car,
you stay there for
free. Live for free. So Greg jokes and says, well, that's cool because when you get tired of me, I could just move on to each brother's house because, all of y'all got your own spots. And Omar, hurry up and leave. He like, nah, dog, I don't think
I do like when Keith told Jarvis, he was like, basically, he said, you blessed. You have 2 dads. He's like, can I get one? And then Jarvis came back. He was like, okay. He's like, but isn't Booker your daddy now?
Ooh. He was not happy.
He was like, Keith didn't like that. Keith did not like that.
Mm-mm.
So the next scene we see Omar, he's meeting with Robin and they are talking about Bianca.
And he also gives her the type of coffee that she likes. He
she's
got her order in advance and she was looking at him like,
I don't blame her.
Like you listen. Like you listen. Yes.
Right. You know my order. I like it. Y'all, you know how we like that. Okay.
Yes. We like when a man can read our minds or just listens. Oh my God. Come on. So she tells him that she thinks that Bianca is full of stuff and that he should turn her over to the authorities because he told her what happened. And she tells him about a friend of hers who was playing games with a baby who basically was picking the best daddy.
Yeah, it was the real daddy was like a buster, and she didn't want him to be the daddy, so she picked somebody else that wasn't even the child. And so Omar like, then this is one of your close friends,
right? This the company that you keep. So like, what does that say about you?
She the one that's down to travel last minute. I get that. So she was like, I give her a pass.
That's wrong. So Jarvis goes on to confront his parents.
I said, I put Jarvis went to Jarvis in the kitchen with a woman who stole him. Go ahead.
With the mama thief.
like,
So Jarvis is in the kitchen and he's like, Mom, we really need to talk. And she's like, oh, about Lisa? He like, nah, about you. Oh, he goes on to show her the paperwork about the DNA
the birth
test and the birth
certificate.
certificate.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, well, they do stuff wrong all the time. She's still lying.
Still lying.
Lies.
And then he said, I think that's when he brought up the birth certificate and stuff, and she saw it. Like,
Wardell! I was like, Wardell! It kind of pissed me off because his real mother is gone and she didn't get to meet her child, and I just want to sock that lady in her face.
Girl, so Wardell, aka his former dad, comes down. He's like, "What's going on? What's going on?" And then Jarvis, go ahead.
He's explaining the situation and he's like, he knows what happened. And Wardell is a liar too.
I was telling Cam, I'm like, they already had those lies in the clip, yes, just in case he, like growing up and he find out.
Yes, because see what happened. We saved you from a really bad situation.
We adopted you.
These parents, they weren't good for you. We rescued you.
No, at first he said, "Oh, they mix up babies all the time at the hospital." Stop, Wardell.
And you got a lot of nerve to let this woman bring home another whole family's baby. That is so disrespectful.
Both of y'all foolish.
Y'all need to go to jail with your old asses. I'm sorry. But the people do be thinking just because they old is over there. Lucky Jarvis don't want to. Okay, but then the funny part is Jarvis says, it's somebody who wants to talk to you, so he goes and gets his real father.
Right. Like I was telling Cam, it's like a Jerry Springer moment. You know how back in the day when you watch Jerry Springer, it's like they have like the surprise guest in the back, like, oh, the one that you was cheating on. He's
we're gonna bring him out.
We're gonna bring him out.
Come on out.
So Jarvis brings in his bio dad, and he you can just see the hurt in his face. That his mother remembered that. She was like, I was like, she kind of got on my nerves.
He should have snatched her ass. That's what he should have. He should have just walked up and said, "This is for his mama." But no, that's not nice. We can't condone violence.
He was like, I remember the evil in your eyes. And he was like, my wife blamed me all this time for being naive.
Stupid I was.
And naive. And girl, then the daddy started fighting.
The bio dad attacked Wardell because he was pissed.
He was waiting all these years, girl.
I'm gonna beat your ass today. He did like attack him. I was like, oh my God. And then how he gonna do all that and then start having an asthma attack? I was like, right. Okay, Fred, I'm coming to join you. Okay.
Right. So yeah, he did. He was like, I need to get my pump out the car. So Jarvis like, this is not how I pictured it going down. He was like, but basically, but before they get ready to leave. And he did thank them. He was like, because of you, I am the man. I'm the person I turn out to be, which is true. But that's just a messed up scenario.
Because he didn't get to see his mama.
He had to see his mama.
I mean, on my mama, on my hood, I look fly. I look good. He can never say that. Like, he
can never say that.
I mean, but I'm quite sure that'll come out in later episodes. Okay,
so he couldn't say that. Hood, I look fly, I look good. You can't touch my bag.
Hey. Okay. But the next scene is too cute when it shows Keith and Jackie in their matching jogging suits. I was like,
you thought that was cute? I was like, that's so corny. I don't like the matching.
But Keith is corny, so it
fits. They're both corny, so that's right on brand for them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, brand on brand. That's the perfect thing to say. But they had, and then the color was kind of. But anyway, we'll leave them alone. Right. So I like how they had their little dance battle moment. Mm-hmm. I thought that was really cute. Mm-hmm. I like the little moments that they be having in here. So Jackie says that she loves to dance, and then Jackie looks over and sees that box of negatives after their dance battle, and she's like, you don't want to give my father any more ammunition, do you? Mm-hmm. Not to like you. So I think you need to get up on that.
Yeah, so he said he's going to take care of it. So Greg is in the kitchen cooking. He cooking steak, y'all, and it's very well done.
It's super well
very,
done.
Very well done. So his guest is at the door. She arrives, and who is it, Cam?
It's Wanda.
Wanda, hey, City.
So she tells, so he burnt the hell out of that damn steak.
He did.
So she, of course, is a little wide eyed because you know what she wants.
She want that D.
She wants that D. Okay. So she tells him that she'll eat everything on her plate but the steak.
Yeah, it was kind of tough.
It was
kind of tough.
sharp.
Like it's yeah.
He talk about it's blackened.
Right.
No.
Right.
Yes. So then she tells him she'll eat everything else on the plate and then maybe they can work it all off in the pool. So Greg looks at her. He says, did you bring a swimsuit? She's like, no.
She was like, he was like, okay, yep, we're done here.
We're done here. Let's go. So while they're chilling or skinny dipping in the pool because they are in their birthday suits.
Yeah, it is like just chilling in the pool, drinking wine.
Chilling.
And Wanda brings up a proposition. She explained how 10 years ago she froze her eggs.
She is a trip.
She is a trip. But yeah, she said she's telling Greg 10 years ago she froze her eggs.
Because the dating pool was just
she said
not up to par.
Yeah, and she said even now. He was like, hey.
Like you can jump on me and
right.
Okay.
So basically he knew where she was hinting at. He like, so what you trying to say? So basically this is speed things up. She wants to pay him to be the father of her child, to give him sperm.
So not only do you want to just dog him for not being
now you want my sperm
good enough, but
now you want my child.
Yeah, so I'm gonna pay you because I don't want you to have nothing to do with your child.
That part.
Because I'm woman enough to do it by myself, and we all know women do it all the time. But the best gift that you can give your child is two parents that love each other because you need that yin and that yang to balance each other out. But I was like, she was like insulting him, lightweight. Talking about because there are no good men, but you did come close. What?
She always shading him.
She
always shading him, girl.
So she a trip. So he tells her he'll think about it.
Yeah, he did say he think about it. I was shocked by that. I was like, oh, okay.
He just wanted to get some before she left. That's all.
So Jarvis, so Jarvis comes, huh?
I was like, Jarvis pop his ass up.
Pop his ass at his house. He begins to tell them, what happened. Well, he begins to tell Greg, what happened, how they were going at it, his two dads. And he said that he was jokingly saying, he like
we got joint custody of me now.
Custody of him. And he said he's not going to press charges or anything because, they're old and it is what it is, And then Wanda was like, yeah, because Wanda is standing behind Greg because, they're naked. And then Jarvis like, wait, hold up. He was like, do you have on any trunks?
And he like, look, when he realized that they were naked, he was like, don't y'all do nothing in my pool or you going to pay to get it clean?
Yeah.
Because I'm not trying to do all that. He like, ugh. And then he was like, good night, Wanda. And then he looked at Greg like,
Not you, Greg.
Not you. He was pissed.
He was pissed.
Because that is kind of like, ew. But okay. Mm-hmm. So then Keith is sitting there watching television and he looks over at the box and I guess he feels convicted in his shadow eye, like I better get up on it. Because when you love somebody, even when you don't feel like doing something.
Love someone, it's Christmas every day.
All right, Christmas every. Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
I love that song. That's one of my favorites. Okay.
So then it flashes to Bianca meeting Omar
in the parking lot.
And she looking like a bum. Any other time she got on something just skin tight.
Any other time she's looking like a baddie. Okay.
Yes.
But this time hair is disheveled.
She looking like a bummy.
Sweats.
A bummy.
Look like she having
a bad time. Like, and so Omar says, are you running from somebody? And then she starts telling him and he says, he knows that he made a mistake because he lost himself, so he didn't blame her. And he said that he lost his family. And then he hands her that card from ICE. And she's like, That's the first time I think that she wasn't being dramatic because she knew that ass was getting caught.
Yeah, so basically, she tells him that
I came into this
yeah,
country.
she came into the country 7 years
I could
ago to
feed my family.
to make it like big, but the weight of her family falls on her shoulders. So she said she used her looks. She had to use what she had,
And I ain't
to
mad
get
that she
money.
used what she had, but you ruined a
True,
whole.
true that.
She ruined a black family
Well,
with a
he
good
ruined
black
a
man.
black
Well, they
family.
both did because she knew that he had a wife and she didn't care.
Did she though? Did she know he had a wife?
She.
I don't know if he said, because they were technically separated now. They were technically separated.
But when they met each other at the
Mhm.
gallery and she said she didn't want nothing to do with him, she didn't even remember. And
Mhm.
then you pop up with you got a whole baby, and then she tells him
that the ICE person
that the
said
lawyer
that,
told her.
Yeah, the ICE lawyer told her that it
If
would
she was
probably be
pregnant.
better if she was pregnant. So that's where Omar came in, because she's not pregnant.
And his soft ass. I love you, Omar, but you soft wanting to save the world ass,
He
knowing that
does.
she's sitting up there lying to you, and that she lied and told you basically this. I ain't pregnant. I'm just trying to get this money because I got to feed my family and I got to save myself. She ruined your whole life, and you still hand her a big old
10,000.
grip.
That was 10,000.
A grip.
I'm like, how much he getting his severance?
Right.
But that
So
was 10,000.
his off ass still knowing she a liar.
But he did say this is the last time.
He did. And bam.
Yeah, she get out the car and ICE swoops
pulls
in,
up and they put her ass in the car.
And she probably think like, you set me up. That's how she was looking,
like I can't believe. But that's what you get for all, because
but he didn't.
He didn't. But throughout the whole thing, how you did Keith and how you were doing all the other people before him, sometimes karma do come back at you. Mm-hmm. No more karma. Okay. But then it flashes to Keith
back in the dark room. Mm-hmm. And he sees, when he developed it, he sees Bianca's, of course she sees her dad because it's his pictures.
Mm-hmm.
Back in the younger days, on a golf course, and he sees something familiar. So it flashes back to when Keith was outside of his loft talking to one of the neighbors. And how the developers are, moving in, gentrifying. Yeah. And Keith put 2 and 2 together. So he was like, oh.
Because one of the guys in the picture had on a Griffin Group shirt. Mm-hmm. And that was the sign of the people who were buying up the neighborhood.
Yeah, so councilman, that's his friend. So he, being shady. Giving contracts. And that's the end of episode 4, y'all.
I like to be in America. That was the song that Bianca was singing. She thought she had that grip, though. She was like, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like, yes, that's what you do.
10,000. But yeah, y'all. So go ahead and like the video, because that's an easy and free way to support us.
Yes,
we show up in the algorithm of other people's feeds, and people can click on us, and we continue to grow. So go ahead and do that.
Yes.
Okay.
Go ahead and do that, and thank you for joining us here on
Clink the recap.
The recap of Johnson. Yeah. Remember, you can watch this series on Amazon Prime
and Hulu,
and it originated on Bounce Network. So look into it. It's a great show on love, relationships, brotherhood, and just life. They tackle so many great
from the
issues.
male's perspective, but ladies, it's great for us too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you can learn a thing or two.
To learn you something. What the old people used to say, can learn you something.
You're gonna learn today.
All right.
Until next time.
Bye.